Hey guys, this is Jimmy with Jimmy Shaw's Tidbits, and I'm here with...
Jeffrey Wright from the Print 3D channel.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing really well, my friend. I'm glad you came down to Vegas.
I'm sure glad to be here, and thank you very much for taking us around today.
Oh, no problem. I thought you guys would like to see a little bit more of what Vegas looks like on the local side because, you know, everybody down on the Strip, it's kind of glitz and glamour and stuff, and you don't see how the people who actually make all that happen live. So I thought it'd be cool for you guys to see what we enjoy when we're not down on the Strip. So it was cool little journey today. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he took us out to the mountains. We got to see, what was it, Red Rock?
Red Rock National Conservation Area. It's a really nice scenic loop drive. It's about 7 miles. A couple of little overlooks so we can take some photos and enjoy the... It was actually beautiful today. It was like 70 degrees and breezy pretty much.
It was the nicest day I've ever seen in Las Vegas. Usually when I come to Las Vegas, it's 113 degrees and such a dry heat that you can sweat and you don't know you're sweating because it dries up immediately.
Yeah, you dehydrate quicker than you can drink water here. Trust me, I've been living here for 16 years and it is hot here in the summer. It's too hot.
Yeah, it is. So how long have you been into YouTube? How long have you had your YouTube channel?
Well, originally I did have a motion graphics, and I still have it. It's a motion graphics channel that I put all my stuff that I do for like work and side projects and stuff on that. And then once I got the printer about 2 years ago, January of 2017, so we're coming in, so I'm celebrating almost coming into my second year on YouTube. Awesome. So yeah, that was about when I started the channel. The original G-Max arrived here in October, November. Kind of got that YouTube bug after watching, obviously, Joel Telling, Chuck Hellebeck, you know, Daniel over at the ModBot. And
the usual suspects?
The usual suspects, exactly. And it kind of got me interested, and I just graduated from film school, so I had some film school experience, and I kind of wanted to keep working in editing, and I thought this would be a good way make YouTube videos. And plus, you know, inspirations of like Joel and Chuck and you guys, you know, of course, you know, that kind of helped too. I saw such a friendly, open community, and I knew I had to be part of it.
That's one thing I was talking with Joe the other day, the 3D printing professor. We were talking about how the 3D printing community actually is a very tight-knit and friendly bunch.
It is. It's actually kind of nice too because you feel like you're with family. Everybody, you know, like even if it's your birthday and stuff, you know, where people are wishing you happy birthday or sending a silly gift or something. And then when you have trouble, like when I'm troubleshooting prints or when you're having, everybody's there for you. You know, there's no like, oh, I don't want to tell you about how to fix that. I want you to figure it out on your own. It's more like, I want to help you get printing again because it's such a cool industry. It's sad when people have problems. You kind of want to help. You wish you could do more sometimes.
Sweet. And now I have a question for you. The 365 project, where did that come from?
Actually, it's from a photographer. If you go to 365project.org, a photographer came up with the idea of photographing something every single day and posting it. So I wanted to put my spin on it. And, you know, obviously I just started 3D printing. So as a motion graphic artist, I'd seen other people attempt to do the same thing. And there's actually a couple of them that are still doing it 3-4 years down the road. They've been going for years doing this, a project every single day. And I thought it would be really cool to share 3D printing as I learned. Because again, I've only been doing this, at that time, I'd only been 10 months into it. So to me, it was like a good idea. I mean, it was a little daunting at first. You know, I was like, I hope my wife's not going to hate me because we're going to be printing every day, no matter what. But it turned out to be fun, and she's participating in it now too, so which is really cool. She's finishing models and just taking the idea that the photographer had and turning it on its head. Not just printing and posting on like a social media account, but let's produce a video every single day and talk about the print. Like I've gotten to the point now where it's a natural reaction. What you guys see on camera is the same excitement I'm seeing. Sometimes I'll walk into the print room and kind of ignore the print until I'm ready to film, so I can take it in with you guys and I'll notice the problems as you do. And I try and do everything in one take like I'm having a conversation with somebody, and I stay away from doing a lot of heavy editing. So you get that natural feeling of enjoying the 3D print. So to me, the 365 project was I wanted people to enjoy it as much as I am right now. It's just such a young, really cool industry, a really great community, a bunch of really great people in the community. And I just couldn't help myself. I was like, 365, I have to do something cool. I have to find my niche in this community where, Joel does the printer reviews and Chuck does the Filament Friday and the electronics, and you do new printers, and you and Calvin do a lot of live streaming, and Calvin does the trains and, practical printing, and everybody's kind of got their niche. Lauren's got her testing in her mailbox Monday, and everybody's got something, and I wanted something that was more, something that I felt that I brought to the table that people would be unexpected.
Something that's yours.
Something that's pretty much mine. Again, something unexpected. People weren't thinking that the newbie guy would be, would be doing a print every day for his first year on YouTube. So, and before that, we had a lot of things going on, like random prints, which is basically like the 365 project. Right. I did something called the weekend print, where I'd print something for 2 days, and you saw those giant models, so those things take 48 hours to print. So those aren't possible in a 365 project. So it's more fun printing. Yeah. I mean, I could do mechanical parts. We could build a printer. Oh, yeah. But I think that would bore people after a couple of days of me just printing out brackets.
Yeah, you can only 3D print a 3D printer so many times.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's only so many ways to 3D print a calibration cube before you're getting tired of seeing a calibration cube. So this was more fun of bringing something to everybody. I have viewers that are as young as 6, 7 years old and as old as 70, 80 that, can, or maybe just have never seen 3D printing, and now they're fascinated by it just because of me doing something every single day. It's like when you watch the news every day, you have content every single day.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's kind of nice. I mean, a lot of my subscribers say they kind of miss it if I don't post it in the morning, because they're kind of used to seeing it, like turning on a TV show you watch every single day. It's just, even if it's not something you're interested in, at least it's printing and there's something out there for you to watch. You may be interested in it later on. Who knows?
So one of the questions I've got is, when 365 days hit and you're at the 366th day, what are you going to do?
Oh, that's been a pretty common question. What is day 366 going to look like? And to be honest, I think we've joked about it even earlier today, where I think I might come in here and set up and get ready to film and just stare at the camera and go, I don't need to do this anymore. I'm done. But what I would like to see, and maybe somebody out there would be interested, is someone carrying the torch. Yeah. Someone picking up the 365 project for 2018 and doing the same thing I did. Maybe a group of people, like a bunch of makers, get together and say, I take the first 3 months, you get the next 3 months, and just keep this flow going of putting out a project every single day for somebody to watch, whether they're into it, not into it, just started in it, or been doing it for a long time. It hits a broad spectrum of people.
That would be a really good idea for the community to join in and try to continue that.
It would be, and I think I've heard people saying that they would love to, or they would like encouraging me to do, keep going on this. But I think if somebody else picked up the torch and gave their own spin on it, I think that would add to the project alone. I mean, this could be something that could go on for years, that somebody could be constantly carrying the torch of this 365 project until 3D printing becomes, a lot more common household, where we can go to, like we were talking about earlier, go to Best Buy and buy a 3D printer and filament and have it be unified system. Sorry, open source people, but have it be a unified system where we can all just buy equal product from equal manufacturers.
And that's that is a conversation that we had earlier, was about our feelings about open source and all that. And I'm personally of the type where, if Brother came out with a 3D printer and they had their filament or whatever, as long as it's reliable and I don't want to say cheap, but where it's affordable, you're right, that I wouldn't so much be against that. What's your feeling on that?
I agree 110%. I think a lot of the companies that currently make laser printers now are exploring ways to use what they already have been using, their consumables. We talked about the paper printer, and like Canon's got one. I think HP's got a paper printer that just puts down layers of paper and glue and then inkjets the outer edge and trims it at the same time. It's a lot of process in there behind there. But I can't see why they couldn't retool the same exact factories that are making X and Y and add that Z. And have ink cartridges that have raw material in them, like the pellet extruders that you've seen. Yeah. That could, you go to, Office Max or some big box store and go out and buy some filament and have it come in a raw form instead of coming in the actual filament, the strand, because then that would unify the system if everybody melted it on the machine instead of using the spools of it. I mean, there's a lot of ways that we could improve the system and unify it. I know the new XYZ 4-color printer has automatic bed leveling. It literally has servos underneath the bed that adjust the bed for you.
Really?
Yes, I mean you can look online. It's the first of its kind, of my knowledge, and I'm sure someone will correct us if we're wrong in the comments. But I saw the commercial before one of Joel Telling's videos for the new 3D printer from XYZ Full Color, and it shows auto bed calibration, and there's little motors underneath the bed that are until it's ready to print, it won't let you print until that bed's level. So there's the first step. Someone did it. Someone did what we've all been saying we need to have. And yeah, granted, it's in that small $1,200 desktop, small build plate, full color printer, but somebody did it, and it doesn't mean someone's going to buy one, reverse engineer it, and stick it on the next kit coming from China.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about open source and all the other. Everything can be reverse engineered.
Exactly. And there's proof in the pudding, because if you look at the spectrum of 3D printers that are out there, most of them are reverse engineered from the original Prusa style, i3 style, or the Ultimaker style. Those are the two or three styles of printers that are out there besides the Deltas that have all kind of been cloned and reverse engineered to either make it affordable or just cool. Let's use acrylic instead of metal. Let's use laser cut wood instead of acrylic. I mean, there's so many options out there for basically getting the same type of machine. And it's opened the doors. That open source has opened the doors for us to improve on it. And when you see a big company like XYZ put automatic bed leveling in a machine, that means that everybody who gets one of those machines is going to tinker with it and learn how to put it on another machine so it can become just part of the fold. So you won't think about it. We won't have to use sensors and stuff. You just turn the printer on. The only thing you have to worry about is the hot end or the filament. Because the bed leveling, I think, is the big problem right now. I think everybody can agree with me that bed leveling is the bane of existence. And if you're printing for 60 hours, there's a good chance that you go to print on it again and the bed's going to be waxed. Because after 60 hours of movement, especially the way these things are designed and made, there is going to be some play after a while.
We're talking about somebody who is very particular about his first layer.
Yes, we joked about that earlier. I have a first layer problem. Yeah, I tweeted out the other day, I've canceled more prints because the first layer isn't 110% perfect than I have actually completed prints. Because in my opinion, being a noob and still getting used to this, that seems like the most important layer is the first one, because it's bed adhesion. It's the way it stacks up. You can see the filament going down. You know if everything's printing okay. You know if your G-codes, your belts are loose. There's so many things that you can check on that first layer. And then you can go watch TV or play video games until they're done printing. You don't have to really sit out there after that. Right. You can just come in and take a look at your print. You don't have to monitor it. No. It should work. It's designed. It's X, Y, and Z. We're not talking about rocket science in a sense. We're talking about this way, and this way. It should be fine. So first layer problems, though.
Now
Hashtag first layer problems.
Hashtag first layer problems. Now, let me ask you this. When it comes to trusting your printers, whenever you set a printer to print, do you have an issue where you worry about leaving the house or...
Oh, every time. Every single time. Every time I start a print, my wife and I talk about this all the time, is should we go shopping while this prints? And it's not because of the fire hazard or any of that. It's a fail. Yeah. That's all it is. I just don't want the print to fail. And I think maybe if I'm watching it, that it'll print fine, But we have, as I told you earlier, we're starting to get to that point in the 365 part, even though we're in the last quarter of it, to kind of back ourselves up, knowing that this print could have a problem. I already have another print in mind, or I might be getting ready to print it while this one is failing. Knowing that, okay, I can mess with this later, but I need to get a print out. I have a library of models I can choose from. Some of these modelers have over 400 models on there. You could do a whole 365 project on one single modeler. Yeah. So there's plenty to choose from. That's not the problem. But yeah, there are times when I'll lose sleep because it's a ton of support material, or there's a ton of retraction going on, or there's so many things happening that I'd be like, is it going to fail? I don't know. Is it going to fail? I think it's the biggest quandary. And I mean, it's as simple as putting Octoprint on here in a webcam, and then I could watch it on my phone, but that's not the same. I mean, if I'm at work 45 minutes away and the print's failing, there's not a whole lot. I mean, I know you can shut it off in Octoprint from what I understand, but in the Gmax, I'd still want to get here and fix it. It would drive me nuts sitting there looking at a failed print for 4 hours when I know I could go home and fix it. So yeah, it's tough to leave the house when something's going on.
That's one thing about the Gmax. Whenever you have a failed print on a regular printer, that's one thing. But whenever you have a failed print on a GMAX printer, you got a GMAX sized failure.
Yeah, I mean, this could be 48 hours into the print, and then at the top something happens. This layer shift. One of the episodes I did before the 365 project was Plunderbuss Pete. He's the big pirate on there, and it printed for 50 hours. We got to hour 40 and did a major layer shift. And the debate was, as I saw it happen, I was sitting here and I was like, ah. And the extruder, the filament had knotted up a little bit and tugged on it and caused a little shift. It was my original GMAX, not the more new and improved GMAX. And the debate was, it's like, it's been printing for 40 hours. Do I stop it and start it over? I mean, we weren't under any kind of time frame at the time. So it was like, I could just start it over. But I'm like, but maybe I could fix it.
Right.
And I did. I haven't finished painting it yet, but it's that call you have to make in the 11th hour on a GMAX printer. Do I kill this and start all over again for another 60 hours and another new roll of filament too? And more cases, you're going to be using up a whole roll of filament doing a GMAX print, unless it's a vase print, because then it's just perimeters. So,
right.
But yeah, on the GMAX, it's a bigger deal. It's not. It may be okay on a Prusa on a 20-hour print, but when I'm printing a 60-hour model, it gets hour 50 and it fails, I cry.
I bet you do.
I'm going to straight up admit it. I will shed tears staring at the fail. And just like knowing I have to start all over again is just crazy.
It's like taking $40 and just waving it up in the air and lighting it up, huh?
Yeah, I would better off just throwing it at a casino or something instead, you know.
Which that brings me to another question. You live in Las Vegas. Do you ever gamble?
I'm not a big gambler. I think sometimes setting a print to go and going to bed is gambling enough. But I mean, when I first got here, I'm from Chicago, and they had gambling there. There were riverboat casinos there and stuff.
Okay.
So and I grew up around it a little bit because of that. And then moving here, you go for like a year when you first move here to live here. For that first year, you have that like, oh, I got to gamble. I got to check out the casinos. And then it's just when people show up in town, you take them to the casino and hope they win the jackpot so they can toss you a few bucks for your troubles. But no, I'm not a big, I mean, it's a little hectic down on the Strip.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, anybody who's come to Vegas knows that it's pretty hectic down on the Strip. So, and we have kids. So, I mean, there's a lot of family-friendly stuff to do, but there's a lot of non-family-friendly stuff here too. So I'd rather not expose them to that. There's plenty, as you saw today, there's plenty of stuff to do away from the Strip.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I surprised Jimmy today with this beautiful drive out in the Red Rock Hills. So, I mean, that was pretty cool. And then we ate some really local food, and it was pretty cool. I mean, we were nowhere near the Strip.
That was one bomb burrito right there.
Oh, I know. You polished that off pretty quick, my friend. I hadn't even finished half of my food, and you were leaning back and rubbing the belly. That was a good meal.
That's the truth.
But no, I stay away from the gambling as much as I can. I mean, there's enough people throwing money into the machines. And, we've got a lot of tourists here who take care of helping the economy, so they don't need my money. They don't need my $5.
Yeah, that's the truth. I lost 3 today, and that was enough.
Exactly. I'll drop $5 and be, I'm good. I'm good. Let's tap out. So.
Well, is there anything you'd like to tell my viewers?
Besides subscribe to this guy's channel, I mean,
Subscribe to his channel.
subscribe to this.
Up here in the corner.
I'll put a link up here in this corner. No, I just appreciate you wanting to come out and do the interview, Jimmy. I really appreciate it. I know we were talking about it at Bay Area. We all wanted to interview everybody because there was such an excitement of Bay Area Maker Faire. Yeah. And I think Joel kind of had his share of interviews with everybody. And I think we were all like, oh, that's good. Joel got everybody. So it was nice that you came out here. I really appreciate it and got a chance to see our kind of tight little space here that we work in, the GMAX printer and its giantness and all the prints that we've got going on here, and a little sneak peek at what we got coming up too. We got a little bit to see what we're happening here, and
got the peek behind the veil.
Peek behind the veil. There's a few things I'm still holding out because there's a few projects we have.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not telling you.
Yeah, no, I'm not telling you. You got to see all the hidden away filament that we're going to start moving our way through Halloween. Definitely subscribe to Jimmy's channel. Stick around to the Print 3D channel. October, like we were talking about, we're going to do a whole Halloween theme. So I'll be definitely printing out some pretty cool stuff. It may not be in general Halloween looking, but it'll be scary stuff too. So, we have a lot of cool ideas. My wife has some great ideas that we're going to do, some Fusion 360 stuff. So it'll be a fun month in October. And then obviously November, December, as we wind up to the end of the year, I'm sure you guys are going to see some pretty exciting stuff. I got some big prints planned, big GMAX size prints.
That's going to be awesome. Now, when is day 365?
January 1st is officially the end of it. So I'm thinking that December 31st, even though that's New Year's Eve, I'll have a video for that day. And then I think January 1st, I'll wrap it up. We'll talk, I'll do a 10-minute vlog of talking about all my experience, because I want to have a print every day. So even though it's the last day of the year where I could just do a vlog and release both videos of the day, I think the following day, day 366, will be like the 366 wrap up, you know, something to that effect, where I'll just sit and talk about all the things I experienced, all the problems I went through, how much fun it was, and how much, you know, work it is, and maybe plead for someone to take up the hand, you know, 365 prints every day for the next 2018. But definitely, yeah, the last day will just be a day of relaxing. But the very last print, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you, but the G-Max will be used to its fullest extent. That's all I'm going to say. It'll be huge. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big.
So I'm talking to Calvin about it. I'm talking to a few others. I don't know. No promises, but we may try stopping by and surprising you.
Yeah, I know Joel Telling, 3D Printing Nerd, has been really adamant about coming down here for the last day. CES is a week, maybe 7 days, 10 days after the last day of the year. So there could be something that we could coordinate with that, where everybody comes down for CES and checks out the 3D printing, and you know, we could celebrate the end of the 365 project then. Because to be honest, New Year's Eve in Vegas, that is super expensive. And I know you guys want to come down. I really would love to have you guys come down. But just think about that before you commit to something like that, just because check the hotels. Seriously, you're talking hundreds of dollars more than a normal night for New Year's Eve in Vegas. So just think about that. But I think it would be awesome if you guys did come down. I think it would be pretty cool. I think it would be fun if I had my last print here and we all kind of get together and talk about, we can hand the print around the room or something, like everybody give their opinion. Yeah. Everybody talk a little bit about 365 and what it meant to them. Because I know everybody, this has touched everybody in a certain way. You know, everybody's gotten something from this. Yeah. I know everybody I know in the community has said, I've learned something. Right. At least what, if you take one thing away from 365 days, then my work is done here.
That's sweet. Thank you very much for joining me, for talking with me, and for just hanging out with me today. It's been awesome hanging out with you.
I really appreciate you guys coming down, and I hope you guys really get a chance to relax a little bit before you head back to California, because I know you guys have been driving for like 3 or 4 days and stuff. So that's why we kind of wanted to give you a relaxing day and, you know, stay away from the wheel. Just have some food, kind of see some sights, not be stressed out at all. Because if we had gone down to the Strip, we'd still be down there, and it would be hectic. Everybody's feet would be tired and stuff. So I appreciate you guys coming out. It was really fun.
This was very fun. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. And I'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Awesome, Jimmy. Thanks.
Hey, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, please subscribe. I sure appreciate it. You can do that by clicking on the link over here. Don't forget to ring the bell too. That way you'll be notified when a video comes out. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, please click on my Patreon page over here. You can support the channel from there. If you'd like to check out one of my other videos, please give these a shot. I think you're going to love them. Oh yeah, you're going to like them. Have a great day and take care.